KWRD 1470, 98.5. It is our Good Morning Texas program. Appreciate you joining us. And on the program this morning, as we have a couple of times, and we're going to do it again here this morning, talking Wiseman Ministries. And all right, so here's the deal. Dakotah, who normally is behind the cameras doing all this, doing this on more platforms than I understand or even knew existed out there.
Yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
But you're going to talk today.
Going to talk.
You're in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, now, tell her, so to confuse me some more, tell everybody where all of this video is going.
Yeah, so we post this live on TikTok, on YouTube, Facebook, and we do this all at Wiseman Ministries. So if you just, look up hashtag or at Wiseman Ministries, you'll find us.
All right, so you've got that. This video is everywhere.
It's videos everywhere.
Well, and the last couple of them have turned out pretty well, despite the host here.
I appreciate that.
And in spite of the host, they've turned out pretty well.
Yes, sir.
And apparently I have not broken any of your cameras yet.
No. We work with what we got.
Well, I'm just saying, the old face for radio thing, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, but you got the voice.
Yeah, well, but that doesn't keep me from breaking cameras. Nicole is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So real fast for both of you. Nicole, when it comes to Wiseman Ministries, what are you doing and where are you involved in all this?
Well, I used to be at the Carthage facility doing casework, and then I moved to Lighthouse, and I'm working at the car wash, Soapy King, and I work at the food bank.
So you're kind of making the rounds.
Yes.
All right, and that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I've enjoyed every position I've been in.
Very good. So Dakotah, when you're not doing videos, what are you doing?
Well, I'm currently in the program at the House of Disciples. Last week Cody talked about guys being mandated, and I was mandated. I got in a little bit of trouble, and so they asked me to do my drug court stuff. Shout out to all the drug court people, and go to House of Disciples for a year. So that's what I'm doing. I'm about 8 months in now. Doing great. I started out doing city crew, just going around Longview picking up trash, and shout out to all the city crew guys. I love you guys. And one day I filled out an application to do the media, and Cody came up to me and asked me if he sat me down in front of a computer if I could edit, and I said yes, and
sure,
it just took off from there.
Well, because in all honesty, having seen the previous videos that you've done in here, that we've done on the radio program, your talent is obviously there. I mean, you can edit this stuff, you can put it together, and if you make me look good, then
you look great.
Believe me, if you've manipulated that, then you've got some talent there, and so it's there. You just got to kind of put it to good use, don't you?
Yes, sir. I've never done it at this level before. I did work for a church for a little while doing media, and then before that, I got to travel and do some other stuff with another ministry that I was at. So I've got a little bit of experience, but at this level and with the creative control that I have here, it's been really good for my recovery and my sobriety, man, and I get to help a lot of people, and it's a privilege for me.
So at the point that you're at now, still a long way to go? Or are you seeing some progress on a daily basis?
No, I don't actually. I got about 4 months left, and then I'll graduate drug court, graduate House of Disciples, and I'll be able to, come on staff. When I first got here, I didn't want anything to do with it. I was mad at the world and just sad. And then once I really got to know the people and see that they really do want to help, I just decided that I was going to hop on board. So that's my plan.
And again, most of what you're doing is based in Longview?
Yes, sir. Everything I do, I live in Longview, and I help serve at the House of Disciples every day.
Okay, very good. So, Nicole, for you, having been to all these different locations that the ministry has, how long have you been involved in this?
I've been here for 7 months.
All right, so in 7 months, you've made quite a few moves.
Yes.
Is that when you make each one of those moves, is that a kind of a step up in the program, or how does that work for you?
I kind of consider it a step up because every time that I've moved, it's always been to better my recovery. So I would consider it definitely a step up every time I've changed.
And how much further in all of this do you need to go?
Well, I got a 2-month extension, so I think 6 more months.
Okay, all right. And then after that, then the real work starts, right?
Yes.
The journey begins.
Yes, maintaining all of this. And we've talked in previous programs about how folks come to Wiseman Ministries and get involved in the various programs. Nicole, for you, how did this happen?
Well, I was in an abusive relationship, and I ended up in a mental hospital. I was about to be kicked out. Not really kicked out, but I had to leave.
Sure.
And so they called Wiseman, and 5 minutes later, they called back.
How about that?
Yeah, it said that they would be glad to have me.
Okay. And again, you've been at various locations in the ministry, and so kind of refresh everybody of the various locations and what each one does.
There's 2 women's facilities. There's the one in Carthage, and there's the one in Henderson, which is Lighthouse.
Okay.
I think there's 3 men's facilities. There's the one in Longview, there's the hotel, and then there's the farm, the Blackberry Farm.
Okay. And you mentioned you were working at the car wash.
Yes.
All right, so that kind of brings up an interesting point. Neither one of you can handle this for me here. When it comes to things like the car wash or the Blackberry Farm, are those business ventures, if you will, for Wiseman? I mean, is that places to help fund the ministry?
I believe so. I believe it is. As far as I've gathered, they're to help support the men and the women that are in the ministry.
Okay, because like the car wash down the street here, is that owned by the ministry or just run by the folks that are involved in the ministry? I mean, do the proceeds all go to the ministry, or how,
Yes,
how
it
does that
does.
work?
Even the tips, everything goes to the ministry.
Okay, all right, very good. So it's an actual business venture that the ministry is involved in.
Yes, sir. It keeps us running.
Okay, and then the Blackberry Farm over at DeBerry, folks can actually come there and buy blackberries or pick their own or
Yes,
whatever
sir.
the case may be.
Yes, sir.
But then at the same time, do you ship out blackberries to like folks who make the product?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. They
All
do.
right. All right. So it's teaching everybody involved how to do something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Very
Yeah,
good.
work a stable job, keep a stable job, and just be solid. What I like about it is, they give everybody ample time to really get it together and get their work ethic where it needs to be before they transition out into the real world.
Okay, very good. And Nicole, for you, what's next in your path? Do you keep doing what you're doing for now, or do you, when this, like Dakotah, you're going to get involved in the ministry, you think, full time when your program
Yes,
is
sir.
finished? Nicole, are you going to do that, or you have some other plans for your immediate future?
Nothing set in stone, but I'd really like to touch on casework. It's something I'm really interested in doing. Around February or March, I'll be able to work for the ministry, and that's what I'd like to do.
So, needless to say, in the last 7 months, you feel a lot better off right now than you did 8 months ago?
Yes,
Yeah.
way better.
Okay.
Safe.
Yeah, well, that's the main thing, I'm sure. And Dakotah, for you, you've a lot clearer now on what's ahead of you than you were a few months back?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like I said before, I had major trust issues and just had some things I had to work through, and I didn't really know what I was going to do when I got here. I was hopeless, man, and Wiseman stepped in and showed me a lot of love and a lot of grace where I needed it, and that's where I'm at today.
And again, for folks who may need this program or want to get involved in the ministry in any form, I guess, as a donor, a supporter, or however they can do that,
Yeah.
how's the best way to do that?
Well, really the best way is to go to wisemanministries.org or .com. I'm sorry, wisemanministries.com. And there is a donate page on there, and you'll see it. You can just click subscribe if you want to subscribe monthly. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can do that. And there's also some books that Tim Wiseman wrote. And if you want to support the ministry that way, you can buy a book.
Okay. Or go to the car wash.
Right.
And Nicole will be there.
Yes.
Doing what? At the car wash, what do you do?
A little bit of everything. I dry the windows, I power wash, I patrol, make sure all the women are safe.
Right.
I shine the rims, condition the tires, dry the exterior, everything there, except for the pay station.
So if I drive my raggedy old truck down there, I won't recognize it when you're finished.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is pretty cool stuff then. All right, that's all good stuff. And again, we've talked in previous programs about how folks even come to being in these programs. Nicole, you mentioned the fact that you made a phone call and they called you back. How'd you even know to make that phone call?
The number was on the list. There's a list that they give you of resources and places that you can go. They said that Wiseman was one of the best ones on there, and that was the first one that I called.
And you'd never heard of them before?
No, they were the only ones highlighted on that paper.
Okay, very good. And Dakotah, for you?
Well, for me, it was really the judge's recommendation. I really needed help. I was deep in my recovery. I just relapsed off of a few years of sobriety. And, I just told him, I told him the truth and just said I needed help. And he said, would you consider it? And I said, yes, sir, I would.
And those whole relapse situations, you're close to that every day, aren't you?
Well, for me, yes.
I mean, it's a struggle every day.
I'm fresh in recovery, so I have to, it's a spiritual journey that's contingent upon my prayer life, and so I have to every single day stay in contact with my higher power, the God of my understanding, and He gets me through every day, and he's actually what helped me trust this program.
Plus, surrounding yourselves with the right folks too.
Yes. So we've got a lot of guys that also, go to outside things like AA and stuff like that. And Wiseman, they totally support it. They help us go wherever we need to go. I've got drug court 3 times a week, and they work around my schedule and just help me out a lot with that. So.
Okay, very good. And Nicole, for you, every day's a new day and hopefully a better day than some you've had?
Yes, it really is.
Right.
Every morning we wake up and we pray.
Very good, very good. And again, Wiseman Ministries, if folks want to get involved, just go to the website and they can probably find out all kinds of information that they would want to know.
Yes, sir. And there's also Gifts of Grace, the retail stores. You can go in and buy whatever you need.
And where's that?
So they have one in Longview, and I believe one in Henderson or Carthage or in that area. You can Google it, and you'll find it. I think Nicole might know the other one.
And is that a donation-based deal?
Yes, sir. It's all run off
to put things into the store.
Yes, sir.
And how do you do that? To actually take something that you have to the store?
It's kind of like going to Goodwill. There's a donation station, and people just go and drop off whatever they want, and then the guys they clean it up and polish it and then put it out on the floor, and they stay busy all the time.
I bet so. Okay, so again, those are fundraising business ventures, if you will, and ways to support the ministry.
Absolutely.
Okay, and the food bank thing in Henderson, that's a recent acquisition, isn't it, Nicole?
Yes, it is. So it's a food bank, and you can just drive up and you can get a box of food. There's produce, bread, stuff like that, and then you can go inside and shop retail. There's clothes, kitchenware, furniture. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Kids' toys.
And get things like that are donated to the location?
Yes.
Okay, so folks have donations, they can bring those by?
Yes.
And I want to say that's down on Jacksonville Drive?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. Very good. And are there certain hours for that, or is that open just about every day, or how?
I know the thrift store is open around about the same time the food bank is. It's it's not like a typical 8-hour day there.
Sure.
I think it's like 5 hours.
Okay. And the car wash is open when?
Car wash is open every day of the week.
Yeah.
And on Sundays it closes at 4, and I think it's open from 8 in the morning all the way to 6 at night.
Okay. Long days. But,
Yes.
But it's a busy place, I'm sure.
It is, and it's really enjoyable up there too.
Yeah, very good, very good. Wiseman Ministries, again, well, I want to say 4 locations. There are 4 areas that you're helping out, but maybe even more than that in East Texas. Nicole, all the best to you. Thanks so much for coming in. See, this worked out okay, right?
Yes, it did.
Okay, well, good. Dakotah, yeah, you feel better now that you've been on both sides of the camera?
I still am getting used to it, man.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
Well, all the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much for coming in this morning. It's our Good Morning Texas program. This is KWRD 1470 98.5.